My name is Iain Malcolm. We're on Cromlick's home farm at Dunblane, just now a farm that we have tenanted for 23 years in partnership with my wife and eldest son Angus. The farm extends to 2,400 acres. It's a very extensive farm. We have a traditional type of hill cow, Highland Cross Shorthorns. They're entirely outwintered due to the fact we have no housing for cows. They are, without a doubt, a very hardy type of cow. They lend themselves very well to outwintering. They're good foragers, they're easy handled. They're a maternal type of animal, so they lend themselves well to rearing a calf every year. The longevity is pretty good. The 170 cows are crossed with Charley and Simmental bulls. The calves are sold in Stirling in the middle of October. We've adopted an unusual system of keeping these cows throughout the year. As you see, it's quite a roughish grazing environment. Because we're fairly lightly stocked, we don't need to start feeding till early January. We get 2 to 3 kilos a day from then till mid-March when calving starts. Once the cows have calved, they need between 4 and 5 kilos. They've always got roughage. Unless we have deep snow, they're always able to go and graze. So they get their rolls in the morning, and then they tend to disperse for the rest of the day and go and graze. And in the process, they're improving the farm for sheep. Because we have this number of cows on the farm, we're keeping the roughage down. It enables us not to need to feed our sheep. We gave up growing silage 18 years ago to allow us to adopt this extensive grazing and outwintering system. The cows are grazed on the fields that we would normally have grown silage, so it's allowing the cows to put on condition. The calves are better because the cows are milking more, and the cows take the bull better. The hill is allowed to grow ungrazed in the summer, and it's quite surprising how well it does grow. The good dry bits are almost like hay fields, so the cows can get back onto these once the calves are weaned. Calving goes on for about 8 weeks, 8-9 weeks. We put the bulls in with the cows early June, 1st of June usually. One of the other unusual things we do is we wean the calves mid-September, which is not the normal way to sell suckle calves, but we find it's better. The reason we do that is to allow the cows to get up in condition before the winter, so that the longer period they're not milking, the later we can put off feeding them. We tend to sell most of the calves on the one day in Stirling. The system allows us to have very low machinery costs and no housing costs at all. We run both Simmental and Charley bulls. We always find the Charley calves are easy to sell in Stirling, so that's one of the reasons. But we do a sort of 50-50 split between the two to supply Simmental heifer calves. We have good cow fertility and calf growth rates. We've achieved 91% from cows and heifers put to the bull. The calves grow at 1.2 kilos per day for the 6 months that we have them, and we get 61% of cows calved in the first 3 weeks of calving. We don't breed our own replacements because we want to keep the system very simple. The cows are all bought as either heifer calves, bulling heifers, or sometimes in-calf heifers, but mostly from the west coast and the Western Isles, mainly through Dalmally and Oban markets. We buy a few privately. We winter bulls in a birch wood that's kept rough all summer as well, so they're on deferred grazing in the winter too. The system relies on low stocking density. If we were to increase our stock, cow numbers for instance, which it would be quite easy to imagine we could carry a lot more cows on this acreage, our costs would immediately be reflected on these increases. I would predict we would have less fertility and lighter calves, and we may need more labour, we may need more machinery. The low cost extensive system doesn't necessarily mean lower management and thought input. The We manage the cows throughout the year, although we might go periods that we don't see them. We need to know what they're doing and how they're doing. So for the success of the business relies on constant year-round management. Although this is a very low input setup, we have to have an extremely structured and focused approach to allow us to maintain a profit margin.